We live. What's up? Hey, look here, guys. We're back again with another edition of Making Smoothie Magic. How y'all doing today? Let's get going. Let's get going. Let's get to it. Facebook, how y'all doing? Katrina, what's up, girl? How you doing? Y'all doing all right? Jeremy in the building. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Yes, sir. There he is. Mr. Drew Sanders himself. Yes, sir. Big dog, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Man, I'm great. How are you?
Man, fantastic. Fantastic.
Yo, what do you have your phone sitting on right now?
Right now, I got a little tripod.
I need to get one of those.
Hey, I kept saying the same thing. I'm like, bro, how these folks just doing this junk and the phone just sitting there and I'm trying to talk to them and I'm all like this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. How you been, though?
Man, I'm good, man. Just, trying to stay out the way.
Stay
out the way, trying to keep myself stimulated, keep myself motivated. Keeping a lot of people in my prayers, man. A lot of people that I know here in Detroit, man, are losing family members, bro. So, I'm just keeping them in my thoughts, man. And, just staying out the way, man, and just really just staying positive in the whole thing. It's a lot going on, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm on the same token, man. I'm really just refocusing, right?
Yeah.
Kind of trying to control my energy, kind of controlling my thoughts, and all those different type of things. So they don't get away from it because it's easy. Right. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to be focused on one thing, and something happens and it automatically take you in a whole other direction. Because you feel like we have time, or we got it. Really, it don't really matter. We got enough. We're not going nowhere no time soon, right? So, for me, it's like I got things that I want to accomplish and that I'm trying to do. So I have to make sure that I'm always on point. And it's helping me a lot, man. It's really helping me to create new habits. One of the habits that I created, and it's simple, just making the bed every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just started doing that too, bro.
Yeah. My wife got me on that jump, and it was like, at first, she kind of hit me with the like, why you don't ever make a bed? And I'm like, well, shoot, I mean, that's just something I don't think about, And then we had a conversation. It was like, hey, I was reading that if you start making up the bed, it does certain things for you. It helps you to kind of get things focused. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm starting with like that simple habit of trying to create that habit and to see the feeling that I get when I do make the bed, right? And then on top of that, the feeling that I get when I forget to make the bed, you know what I'm saying? How you feel like, dang, man, it was just, and you start to get on your own head about it. Like, bro, it's just making up the bed, bro. It don't take you no time. Like, just make that decision to make the bed. And I can tell how it helps me make that decision and be accountable for just that small little thing. You know what I mean?
Right. And it feels so much better getting in the main bed at the end of the night.
Man, who you telling?
So much better, bro.
I never realized that until we started doing that. And it's like, dang, this, it's nice. And my thought was like, bro, I'm gonna mess up the bed anyway, so it don't even matter if it's made up.
Right. And you just ready to go into your day, so you just get up and get going. You don't even think about the bed. Right.
And it take you maybe a minute to make your bed up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's such a good habit, man. I definitely agree with you on creating good habits, man. Like, I've been getting back into my affirmation game every morning, because I recorded some affirmations. It's funny, I recorded some affirmations 2 years ago on my voice note from my phone. I used to listen to it every morning and talk to myself in the mirror every morning. And since with the Aware brand, we've been getting back into sending the affirmations out every Monday to our email list. And I'm like, I'm going to start listening to my affirmations again in the morning. And it's really been helping me. And just like you said, just creating good habits, like getting out 3 days out the week to at least run. We be talking in the ski chat and talking about that, running, working out. Man, just really doing a lot of personal care, bro. A lot of personal care, bro. That's really what I've been focusing on. We could really try to focus on the business all day. But there's gonna be time for that, man. We really don't get, this leisure, this time to really be at home with our families, to really be at home chilling. So it's so important, man, to tap into our personal lives and our personal selves right now. And, just develop that side of us,
Yeah,
so
man.
I really rock with that, bro.
Yeah, bro. And the most important thing to me is that I'm starting to learn, like, the things that it takes to become a great human, right? You know what I'm saying? And not just like a great dad or a great husband or, you know what I'm saying, a great son or a brother. Like what does it take to become a great human? You know what I mean? And once I start to kind of put that in perspective, then everything else that I'm doing, everything else that I look at, and the way that I approach the day is completely different. Because now I feel like I'm operating on love now, right? I'm operating on like, how can I be a helping hand to somebody else? Like, what can I do to put a smile on someone's face with something that's it's not a big thing to me, but it may change that person's whole outlook on life. You know what I mean? Just on a compliment, or even, you know, because one thing that I think about too, bro, is that we all have thoughts in our head when it comes to other people, right? We all think like, man, that boy Drew doing his thing, right? But we don't understand the effect that it has on that person if we was just to tell them, right? If we was just to tell them how we feel, like if I was to see something, and I've been practicing that. So if I see somebody on IG, if I see somebody doing something, like I'll automatically, whatever thought comes to my head, and it has to be positive. You know what I mean? And even if it's a negative thought, try to figure out why it's a negative thought, right? And then turn that negative thought into a positive. Like, hey, I see you was doing this. Instead of doing this, look at it like this, bro. I think it may be more effective for you. You know what I mean? And look at it like that, and the effect that it has on other people, bro, is like crazy. It's crazy, dog.
Yeah, you always been good with that too, bro. You always been good with like showing love, bro. Like that's one thing I can commend about you, man. Ever since college, you always, you know, was like, Drew, y'all, I rock what you doing, bro. Like you always commend other people on their efforts, man, and their own endeavors, man. So kudos to you, because a lot of people don't do that, bro.
Right.
A lot of people don't show love to each other, and I think in our community it's important that we uplift each other. You know what I'm saying? And we push each other, like, yo, it's like you're doing your thing. Like yesterday, I had a good conversation. Yesterday, I had a powerful conversation with one of the homies, man, and you know he's a street cat. He's been in the streets, and he's trying to change his life over. You know what I'm saying? And he's talking about all the ideas that he got, and I'm like, bro, I just told him, bro, you got this, dog. Just do it. Just do it. You got all the skill sets to do it, bro. Just do it. And a lot of times people don't really hear that from the immediate circle, like just go do it. You know what I'm saying? And so we gotta affirm positivity in our close ones' lives, and we gotta tell them that they're great. We gotta tell them that they can do anything that they got this mindset on. Yep. Because that, like you said, that goes a long way. We gotta speak that positivity to others, bro. So man, I commend you for doing that, man, because you definitely did that for me for the last 15 years of knowing you, bro.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Man, do me a favor, Drew, before we keep going, because I know we'll go off. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we got a lot of stuff to touch bases with and catch up on. Man, tell these people who you are, what you done, like why you so dope, and I know it's hard, and like it's always everybody that I bring on here, it's hard for them not to have humility and be humble. But this is a point where I want you to just lay it all out, let them know everything you do and all of that junk.
Man, that's good, man. I've been trying to because I'm like a jack of all trades, bro. Like I do a lot, so I have an R&B platform called R&B Untapped. I've been producing that under my entertainment company called Fly Nation Entertainment for the last 5 years, which I started at Tuskegee University as a management company. But we switched gears a little bit and started producing our own events. So R&B Untapped is a platform for showcasing tomorrow's R&B superstar. So our audience is like the early adopters of tomorrow's R&B superstar. And then we had everybody on our show from Ari Lennox before she got popped in, Aaron Ray, Mariba, Jacob Lattimore, DeMar Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on, bro.
Yeah.
We had over 50 artists on our platform, man. So 60 artists, you know, just performing wise. And then so I also have a clothing apparel line called the Aware brand, which is pushing the positive messages of self-love, self-awareness. We know that self-awareness is the bedrock of all awareness. Right. So and it's really prioritized. We're really aiming to our community. So and hopefully put that energy out to other people. So that I got the Aware brand, and I also work for Nova Card, which is a liquor supplier company, the number 2 supplier company in the world. So we have brands like Martell, Jameson, Avion, Kahlua, Malibu, Glenlivet, GH Mum. I'm the activation specialist here for them here in Detroit. So I produce all the activations for locally here in the city of Detroit for those brands. But I just call myself a creative strategist, and in the lifestyle. Kenny Burns say he's a lifestyle specialist, but
Right.
I'm kind of that new version. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I love to create experiences for people of color. Like that's what I love to do. That's like a passion of mine, and I love to inspire. So those activations are always inspiring people, bro. I always try to, even at R&B and tap, I'll leave, you know, about leaving with something like positive for them to leave off with, you know what I'm saying? Just give them some positive words or what their wear brand. It's all about positivity, man. So my thing is this, man. Everything that I produce and curate, I want to instill that inspiration into people, man, and hopefully they can leave a better person when they come to one of my experiences.
That's big. It. That's big. That's big. Yeah, and I definitely just remember those days, bro, back in Skiggy. You know what I mean? Where we pulling up the Drew crib. Drew got the studio set up in one of the rooms. You know what I mean? We in there making music, writing music. We sitting on top of the washer and dryer, coming up with ideas, and you know what I mean? And just having that powwow and that it's almost like a mastermind group. You know what I mean? Of people that's trying to create, and people that's trying to, you know, expose themselves to more and wanting to do things at a young age, bro. Like we were young doing this jump. You know what I mean? And we felt that there was nothing that we couldn't obtain. You know what I mean? Right. From even with us working with Blake and how I was able to take him to shoot these videos and get on BET, like all of this stuff in college, bro. You know what I mean? And meet all of these people and how you were able to take artists and people and have them performing at different stages and like all of that stuff, bro. It's like to have that type of mindset, bro. Like I'm so attracted to people's minds and how they think. You know what I mean? And how they feel about themselves and to understand that we are the same people from back then, right? We're the same. We got the same mindset. That's why when you said you was listening to some affirmations from a couple years ago and how they touched you, bro, I just listened to some voice memos the other day, bro, and they had me in my room like crying in tears. You know what I mean? Because of where my mind was and what I was able to do and to hear what I was thinking about then and then to be able to accomplish that. And to see that happen, you know what I mean? Like to hear yourself, it's almost like talking to a younger version of yourself.
100%.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, cool, you good, bro. Like I hear how you feel right now, but you good because we're about to make that happen, right? You know, and just having that connection with those things, man, I think it's so amazing, bro. So amazing.
Yeah, man. We Tuskegee, man. I definitely say that's all. I see G-Tail in the chat. What up, G? But man, Tuskegee taught us a lot, bro. Man, Tuskegee taught me how to be creative, bro. Yeah. You know, because we didn't really have much. Like, we didn't go to a HBCU in Atlanta or in DC, so we didn't have, like, those different platforms. So we had to create those platforms. Right. So I took that same energy that I had in Tuskegee and brought that into Atlanta or bring that here in Detroit or bring it back home to New York. So, like, I'm just a creator, man, and I learned all that shit at Tuskegee. Right. Like, so I'll definitely pay homage to that because, man, we all had to create. Yeah. We all had to create, bro. We all had to come up with something. And, also our PIT professor, man, in retrospect, me and you had Mr. Freeman, Yeah. So, look, G said all we had was each other. That's a fact.
That's it.
But, yeah, because we got through Tuskegee, brought the business house with each other.
With each other,
yeah. All the same system, you feel what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, like, I definitely feel you with going back to those voice notes, man, because I write a lot, bro. I write a lot. I have, like, tons of journals. I got one right here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I write every day, and I was looking at one of my journals from a few years back, and it was like a to-do list or a goals I had, and I read it. I was like, oh, I'm actually doing this right now. Like, I am doing what I wanted to do. Like, when I wrote it down, I'm like, damn, I'm doing this, and it's just so crazy. That is a power in words, and there's a power in writing things on paper and writing in black and white. You gotta see it to really like manifest what you want. Right. So man, so I definitely dig what you're talking about, bro.
Man, I appreciate that, bro. Let me ask you this though: where was it? Like, where did you get like that hunger from? Like with that hustle mentality, that hunger, like that because it's certain people. I look at you as almost like an outliner, right? Like you're someone that kind of defeats the odds and you're kind of creating your own path. And like I talked about with my guy yesterday, we're kind of trailblazers, right? Like we're clearing paths. So we're like the Messiah of our family. We're the Messiah of our, you know what I mean, of our people, right? And so within that, like, where did you get that whole like mentality from?
I'm a product of a person who suffered from mental depression and mental, like, just really just like dealing with defeating like that small voice in your head that's telling you that you can't do it. I'm that person who dealt with that. So I had to really put in a lot of work to tell myself who I am. Like, I had to. So that took years, bro.
Right.
So, let's start from the beginning. Like, I grew up in a single parent home in New York. My mom's, man, I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment until I was in 9th grade. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people see me now and say, like, yo, Drew good, you know what I mean? Especially in college, but they don't even know the backstory. You know what I'm saying? Like, that we struggled, man. My mom was eating my baby food just to eat, you know what I'm saying? Because she couldn't afford to get her own meal.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's a lot of different things. So just seeing my mom take nothing and build this whole empire, that was the first thing that like sparked that thing into me, man. My mom showed me that you can do anything that you put your mind to, and that she's a true hustler. And,
right.
and I told her her birthday was on Sunday, so I sent her a video. I was like, yo, you think the reason why I call myself Dad's the Great because I came from you, because you're greatness. You know what I'm saying? So one is my mom's. My mom definitely laid a strong foundation in my life and showing what hard work it really is. Then I would say, you know, wanting to the desire, man. I had a lot of people. I crossed a lot of paths in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I met a lot of dope people, man. And I told myself, I want to be like this guy. I want to be like this person. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I just started formulating this idea of who I want to be in my mind. So, and I studied these guys. Like, I remember before I started R&B and Tap, I watched like so many Soul Train episodes on YouTube, and I just studied the way how Don Cornelius was doing his thing on the stage, and I looked up his backstory, and I was peeping him out. I always looked up to Berry Gordy, so I read a lot of Berry Gordy information online, and Puff Daddy. Everybody used to call me Diddy in college, right? In high school. So I looked up Puff, and I tried to figure out how their mindsets were, just being relentless, man. And Deion Sanders was one of my favorite athletes growing up as a kid, and Allen Iverson was the smallest guy on the court, but he put his heart on the line every time. So I just developed all of those. I just meshed all these different people in and put that into me, man. So, and then also I just knew that for me, I know who I am. So I know that I was destined for all this shit. So I just always just prepared myself, man. And I'm an ex-athlete too. So you already know being an athlete, man, it kind of like puts you in that position to be hungry every time you hit that field or you hit that court. So, but I just got the hunger, man, just getting motivated by my peers or by people in my life, man. And it took time, bro. It took time because I used to tell myself the beating stories, man. I used to tell myself the wrong stuff growing up, because of what people used to what people used to put onto me, their insecurities. So I kind of believed that shit growing up, right? So I had to get all the way out of that, and I had to tell my story to myself.
Bro, it's two things from what you just said that both of them resonate with me personally, right? And I've dealt with those situations personally, right? The first one was the single mom, bro. Like, my mom she raised 4 boys by herself, bro. Like, my mom had me at 15. You know what I'm saying? She had me at 15 years old, dropped out of school, went back to school at 17, took junior and senior classes, and still graduated on time.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to understand that type of mentality where we never went without, right? She probably went without, but she never showed us, like, those. I remember nights when we had to light candles because we didn't have, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have no lights. Or we had to put the water on the stove to take a bath. You know what I mean? Or, you know, like, my mom, we used to move. It seemed like we used to move like every other month. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, and so I asked her this recently, and it was like, oh, we used to move so much. You know, because when I went back home, I took my wife back home with me one day, and I'm like, hey, man, I used to stay right here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I used to stay right here, too. Like, and we just ride, and it's probably 10, 15 houses that we done stayed in. And so she told me, she was like, dang, y'all moved a lot, you know? And so when I really thought about it, I'm like, yeah, we did move a lot. You know, and I at the time, that was just the norm. You know, that's just what I was used to. You know, and so I asked my mom, like, Mom, I used to move so much. She was like, shoot, man, if I couldn't pay it, we had to get our stuff and get out and find somewhere else to go. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, wow, like, you really just, to me, it was just the norm. That's just what we did. You know, but to her, it was survival. You know, we were surviving. Like, hey, we can't pay this month. Cool, I'm going to run this money out. I'm going to go save this money instead of paying. I'm going to go put the deposit in. We're going to move in over here, and we'll be good. You know what I'm saying? Until we kind of get things together. You know, and so the second part of that thing is that you said that you identified with multiple different men that you idolize, right? And that you took pieces of, right? And you instilled that in yourself. What I used to do the same thing, right? And the reason that I know this is because, like you said, you grew up without your pops. So did I, right? Me not having my pops, it made me, one, I was hungry, right? Two, I was angry. You know what I'm saying? That's a fine line. You know what I mean? That's a fine line.
I know that feeling, bro.
Right, I know it. And so what happens is we want to be, as men, we want to be better than what we had, right? So the only way that we feel like we can be better than what we had is if we look at better and imitate better, right? And see better and get around better, right? What happened with me was I was so indulged in that, bro, is that I would get around people that I thought that I wanted to be like, and I would give them this praise, and it was like, hey, whatever I need to do to become this, I'll do it, right? And so what happened was I had people that would be like, oh, he's a dog. He got a lot of potential. I'm going to send him through the wall, right? And they know I'll run full speed. If you tell me, hey, look, in order to get here, you need to do this. I'm like, all right, bet. Full speed, right? And so what happened was people would realize that, oh, if I just tell him to do X, Y, and Z, he'll run through the wall and we can walk through it. You know what I'm saying? And then so as time went on, I'm attaching myself to people that I feel like have my best interests. But in reality, they have their best interests because they know they got a workforce that's going to do whatever they need them to do, right, to get the job done. And so what ended up happening was I find myself getting stressed out about it because now I'm attaching myself to somebody. I never had my pops, so now I got abandonment issues anyway, right? I got issues anyway, right? And now I'm thinking I'm getting over these issues. But the more that I deal with these men that I feel like are good and they let me down every time, you know what I'm saying?
I know that feeling, bro.
They let me down every time. Now it makes me even more angry that I don't even want to deal with nobody, right?
Yeah.
So when I dealt with that, bro, think about it like this. My biggest issue that I had in my life, bro, was disappointment. Like, disappointment is like my kryptonite, right? I'm talking about, like, it'll shut me down tremendously. And it's if I feel like I disappointed somebody or if I feel like somebody disappointed me, right? So either way, whatever the case may be, that disappointment, it'll shut me down, right? It'll change me into somebody completely different because I had them childhood problems. You know what I'm saying? I never addressed that issue. But now, once I was able to address that, right, and realize it and hit it head on, you know what I mean, and deal with it, I dug up my skeletons. I dug them up and I dealt with them, right? Now, once I've done that, disappointment don't affect me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up not having, I never had, like, I think my whole entire life, I may have 2 credit cards. You know what I'm saying? My whole entire life. But then the thing is that I would apply for them all the time. But you already know what time it is. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Man, that unfortunate letter, it will put me in a hole, bro.
Right.
It will put me in a hole because it's like now I feel like I'm not good enough. Now I go back to that disappointment feeling. You know what I mean? And so I think that what you said and the way that you identify those things, man, I think a lot of men that grew up without their fathers, and even men that had their fathers in the house, that just didn't have a relationship with them, identify with that so much because that's the only thing we have, right? And we want to be better. We want to be good men, right? Yeah. We just don't have the example in front of us. So we got to go and watch TV. We got to go to the dope boy that got all the cash outside that's willing to give us a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying, just to be cool. Hey, go ahead, cut. You know what I mean? And we got to identify with those people instead of really seeing someone that can instill quality values in us. That's big, bro. That's big.
Nah, you said something, bro. I think as black men or just as people, period, man, we need to rectify with the trauma that we dealt with as children. Yep. You feel me? Yep. We have to, and I'm still working on a lot of that stuff, man.
Me too.
Like, you know, just really working on habitual habits. I mean, bad habits that cause trauma in my life, man. And we have to fix these things. We have to really dig deep in ourselves to figure out what's the root cause of why I'm doing this shit all the time. Why am I doing this all the time? Why am I dealing with disappointment all the time? Or why am I doing? We have to really sit down with ourselves. So I think this quarantine is amazing, bro. Right. Because a lot of people gotta look at themselves in the mirror and be like, damn.
Every day.
Like, you know, so Man, so I think that's huge that you acknowledge that, bro. And I think that we need to have more conversations like this because that's what's plaguing our community. You feel me? Like that's really what's the issue. That's really the issue because we were so from our parents, they was, you know, it's just a lot of like trauma is going on in these families, bro. And like you said, and the father figure is a huge thing when it comes to black men and these black boys, man. And it could be a father in the household, but they'll take no mind to that kid, that boy in the house. You know what I'm saying? Or he might be a terrible person, man, and causing so much rip in that household. So we definitely got to deal with our childhood trauma and work on that, man. A lot of people try to stray away from that shit too. So but yeah, that's a whole other conversation, brother. Keep us going.
Yeah, bro. Man, look, tell me some things, bro, that like has been helpful within your transition. Because I know, like, for one, you went from Ski, you went to Atlanta, right? Started killing the Atlanta game, and then you seen something, right? I remember we had this conversation. You seen something in Detroit, and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to Detroit, bro."
Yeah, man. You know, and I still feel some kind of way about leaving Atlanta. I can't even lie. So, you know, my Atlanta people watching right now, I love y'all, and I miss y'all, man. Because I was just thinking the other day, like, I really got my stripes in the A. You know what I'm saying? Like, Atlanta will always have a special place in my heart, man.
Almost never.
Atlanta's one of those cities that don't let an out-of-towner come in there and shake some things up and create some things, man. So that's a beautiful part of what Atlanta offers to people that's coming there and trying to make a name for themselves. And I use that to my leverage, man. And so, but being here in Detroit, man, it's funny because I lost my job with this marketing agency out in New York because I was doing a lot of tour management gigs. So I was doing for marketing companies. So I lost my gig, and because they lost their contract with the company. And so I was like, damn, I'm on my ass right now. What am I about to do? So I called my mans up in Detroit, Omar. He might be watching. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I hit up O, and O was like, bro, it's about that time for us to start this agency, bro. And he's like, yo, Detroit's the perfect place for it. I said, all right, cool. Let's do it. So I literally packed up 2 bags and had whatever money I saved up, I had it. And I came up here and I just thugged it out, bro. And it was a good look, man, because this city's evolving, bro. This city, I empathize with the city so much because it dealt with so much trauma in its past, from going bankrupt to the mayor issues to the riots back in the 60s. There's so much this city has dealt with, man. And, you know, I feel like it's right now it's about to be on this resurgence and it's going through a renaissance period. And I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of this renaissance. I want to be a part of helping the culture out. You know, the city's 85% black. It's the blackest city in America. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of culture here. So that's what drew me here, man. This is the culture. So the transition has been cool. They're still developing. Like I said, it's not like in Atlanta. It's not like in New York. It's not like in Chicago or LA or Miami, anything like that. It's its own city, man. So it's been good, man. And it actually was a good move for me because it put me in a position to be in a better position than when I was in Atlanta. So I actually moved. Like I follow God's steps all the time, bro. So God tell me to move, I move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, if somebody, I'm gonna run through the wall. God told me to run through the wall. You know what I'm saying? So man. So it was a good move for me to come up here, man. And it's still. I mean, hasn't even been 2 years yet. Right. So still kind of like getting my feet in the door, but I'm shaking things up there, man. And I continue. I'm looking forward to continuing to do it once this quarantine is over, bro. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, one thing that you mentioned about was like Omar. Omar, my guy, man. You know, we've been rocking since Skeeky the same way. But Omar is the one that actually designed my logo.
I know.
Literally, we went back and forth, and all I did was gave him my idea. I gave him my sketches. I gave him everything that I was trying to do, and he shot me back this idea with the logo. And it was like it wasn't even no back and forth. It was like he shot it back to me. I was like, oh, that's it. Like I'm talking about off of muscle. You know what I mean? And so Omar, like a talent, man, he is so skilled. Like
Omar is probably the best graphic designer that I have ever met in my life.
Facts.
So, and I'm looking forward to what he has going. You know, what the future has in store for him because like this dude is a genius, man, and he hasn't really even gotten to his bag yet. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he has coming soon, man. And, man. And man, the talent, bro, and that's a conversation we may have offline. But we got to talk about all the talent that comes. We got to figure that part out, man. But yeah, but other than that, man, Detroit, it's been good, man. It's been good, bro. I can't really complain, man. And it's a lot of dope creatives here in the city of Detroit. It's a lot of good food spots, but there's not enough platforms, right? There's not enough areas where people can sharpen their swords and sharpen their skill sets, or
right.
So I think that's the opportunity here is to create those platforms for these young creators or these young people out here that's looking for something to help build, what they're building on.
Yeah, that's the gap. That's the gap. Yeah, that's big, bro. That's real big, man. I think that's something that because what you're doing is you're putting yourself in front of the curve, right? You're putting yourself in front of the curve, and now once you set everything up, you're going to make everybody come through you in order to get the things that they need in that area, bro. I admire that, bro, and I admire your work, your mindset. Like I said earlier, bro, the way that you think and operate, bro, is amazing to me. And I just want to make sure we understand that and the people understand that who you are.
Thank you, bro.
But I know we're going to talk all day. Let's get to the smoothie real quick. Let's get to the smoothie. What you got over there?
What you want to do?
What you got over there?
So I went to the store.
So we got a question.
I went to the store. You asked me to get this Martell, bro. Because you say you want to do this Martell smoothie. And I got what I got.
Hey, G Till just asked a question too, bro. What's your greatest skill set?
Oh, that's good.
That's a real good question.
I think my greatest skill set is just coming up with different ideas to activate, man. Like you can tell me, I can sit down with you, Keon, right now. I can sit down with you, G. Be like, yo, I kind of want to do this. I want to do that, and I can help you actually formulate that idea and make it really come to life. Like I'm a person who bring ideas to life. That's my greatest skill set. And it may not even be 100,000 people tapped into this, right? But like, I can make the idea happen. I'm good at execution, bro. I'm good at execution, and I'm good at helping you articulate the idea that you actually have. I sat down with so many people in the past that just wanted to just like run ideas across me, and I'm the ideas man. So I'm like, all right, cool. So let's sit down, let's talk about it. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, maybe we need to do this and do that and do this, and then put all these things together. So I would say that's one of my greatest skill sets, is just helping you bring your idea to life and execute. And I'm also good at creating from scratch and making things actually happen. Everything that I have, this hat is from scratch. I designed this hat. This shirt, I designed this shirt, bro. You feel me? So everything, I've been blessed to have vision. Yeah. You feel me? So God put that on me, bro, and I know how to tap into that bag whenever I want to. Hey, I think that's one of my best skill sets.
That's big. I think one of mine is, bro, like, one is being able to connect with people. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you are in life, no matter what your level of success is, no matter what you've accomplished, I think I've been blessed with the ability to be able to connect with people, right? Whether it's the homeless person or whether it's the CEO of the Fortune 500 company, I connect with everybody in between. You know what I mean? And so I think that's been a gift of mine. Also, like you said, bro, just being able to create. Outside of everything that you see from my company, like I create. You know what I mean? No matter what it is. And so having that ability to create, the ability to see the future, to be able to see what quality looks like, right? And being able to figure stuff out. I think those are some of the greatest attributes that I have for my life. Is like, hey, it's the alchemy concept, right? Take lead and turn it into gold. You know what I mean? You can put me anywhere. And Diddy said this, you can put me anywhere. You can drop me off in the jungle, right? I'm going to come out with a fur coat on. You know what I'm saying? With a full belly. And that's the way that I feel like, I think that's a gift to be able to take that, right? Take whatever you throw at me and watch me turn it into magic, right? I don't have to have anything. You know what I mean?
I think that's where me and you kind of like align with.
Right.
We make shit happen.
For nothing.
You feel me?
For
we
nothing.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Like I said, I ain't know a soul in Detroit, bro. A year and a half ago, I came up here, and within 6 months, I shook this shit up.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? And that's still the plan, So it's like that tenacity is rare to come by, bro. So then I always recognize that in you, bro. When you started Priceless Entertainment in this team, I was like, this nigga coming. I gotta lock it low. I gotta strap. I gotta put my seatbelt on because I gotta go hard. food truck, bro, to open up your own storefronts, man, and from the Walmarts to over there by where Auburn, where it was right in front of that grocery store. What's that name of that grocery store?
Kroger.
Kroger, you was right set up over. I was like, God, like you don't even understand how much you inspired me, bro.
That's love.
You feel me?
Love.
So, but I was like, yo, this guy got it. This guy got it, bro. And I'm just so happy to know that you're a friend of mine and that we can always, bounce ideas off each other. And I'm always holler at you. If I'm always like, damn, I ain't got it today, Keon. Give me some words of encouragement, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so, because you one of the goats, bro. You one of the goats, man. So,
I appreciate that. That means a lot to me, bro, because I feel the same way about you, and I know that it's everything is real, right? You can feel, the energy is what speaks volumes. You know what I mean? Like people, I had to learn recently I learned this. Like I can hear people talk, right? But I don't really listen to nobody. You know what I mean? I stopped listening to people. Like I hear what you're saying, right? But all I do now is I just feel your energy. Your energy, you can't hide your energy, right? If your energy ill will, like I can feel that jump now. And I pray for that. I pray for discernment, you know what I mean, every single night, right? Give me the discernment because I've been done wrong so many times, just giving everybody like, oh, they wouldn't, like, who am I for them to, you know what I'm saying? So now I have to really be aware of who I'm dealing with, what I'm dealing with, exactly, facts, facts, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta have that in me so that now, once that energy, if it's good, hey, everything else is easy, right? 100%. If it's bad, I stop it right there. Right? And no matter
energy never lies and dies, bro.
Period. And you used to wonder why your mom know exactly where you at. She know what you're doing, she know when you're lying, all that. She know it. That's that energy.
Or she might be like, hey, I don't like hanging out with that guy right there. Facts.
Switch that up. Facts. Right. Facts. So that's the thing that I do now, man. And I just think that, man, it's so important that we harness that jump, man, and really bring that and cultivate it. And pay attention to it, man. And stop being so foolish to think that everybody got your best intentions. You know what I mean? Right. Like, stop that jump. Because I was the dummy that used to do that, right? I'm like, everybody wants us to win. I think everybody think the same way I think, right? And I'm the type like, hey, I want everybody to win. I'm going to get mine regardless. I don't have a problem dishing out something or throwing a lob over here or connecting these two. I don't need nothing off of that. Like, I'm going to eat, right? I'm going to eat regardless. And so from there, I thought people had the same, I'm thinking everybody think the same type of way. Not knowing that these folks on the back end trying to make sure they trying to send you over there so they can go over here and get what you was doing over here, take your idea and try to, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, like, I ain't got time to be dealing with all that. You know what I mean? I'm just going to disconnect and you can have that idea, go do your thing. It's not going to happen the way that I was going to do it, but go ahead. Go try it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I just think that we really got to tap into those things, man. That was a hell of a question, too, G2.
Yeah, great question, G. Yeah. Great question. Anybody else got questions, man, send them through, man.
Yeah, send the questions through while we're doing this. We're finna start making these smoothies right now, though. So let me see what you got.
Yeah, so I got this Dole frozen.
Hey, pull it out. We pulling it all out. Let's get it.
So we got strawberries, watermelon, bananas, pineapples, and coconut, bro.
All right, bet. Let me see what kind of blender you got.
I got the Bullet.
Okay, cool. What kind of juice you got?
I got what we got here? Man, you know what I've been putting in my smoothies? I've been putting in coconut water, bro.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, pull that out. You got anything else you want to add in there? Yeah, that's good.
I got some fresh kale. I might want to add that in there.
All right, bet. Pull it out.
Can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead. We finna make magic at it.
Hey, yo. I got to tell you, bro. You say you're going to name a smoothie after me, bro. What happened to that, man?
But we're going to do, I'm waiting on you. Hey, we're going to do the R&B joint.
Yeah, that was like 3-4 years ago, dog.
Yeah. Hey, but you moved on me, remember? Hey, this what I got here. So I got the strawberries. I got the carrots.
Okay.
I got the mangoes. Look, you can see those. I got the dragon fruit. I stay with the dragon fruit. And I got the fresh cutie. So the cutie's gonna add a little juice to my beet juice as well.
Mm-hmm. I like that, bro. That sounds good. Let me go ahead and pick that up.
Yep. So what I want you to do first is your bullet gonna be upside down. So all your hard fruit, I want it to be closest to the blade. So we're gonna put the fruit in last.
Okay.
All right. So I want you to put the kale in first.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead and throw it in there. Yep, and you ain't gotta stuff it down. The fruit gonna do that for you.
All right, sure.
Yep.
And then after that, what we doing?
Throw all your fruit in. And I want you to throw the fruit in to about, it almost reached the top, just enough to be able to put the lid on it. That should be about 8 ounces, 8 to 10 ounces. Let me see. Let me check you out. Yeah, you good. Let me see. Yep. Yeah, you good.
I'm gonna add a little bit more fruit though. I'm gonna add just a little bit more.
Yeah, add a little more.
What's up, all y'all tuned in, man? I hope y'all having a great day today, man.
Hey, make sure y'all tap them questions in too whenever y'all ready.
Yeah, send them questions whenever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I got that in.
All right.
So
Now take your almond.
Take water.
Yeah, take your coconut water. I want you to fill it up about almost halfway to wherever your fruit is. Let me check you out. That's good, right there, right there. Yep. Boom. Now let me check that out.
Somebody said add the sea moss. I got the sea moss. Hold up.
Throw the sea moss in that thing.
Hold up. We got that ocean essential.
Yeah, add the sea moss in that thing.
Grab that ocean essential, man.
Yeah. And you got some lime juice. You gotta cut that sea moss taste now.
So what you cut it with?
You got some lime juice?
I do.
All right. Now put a little lime in there. And matter of fact, yeah, you good with that. Matter of fact, I want you to pour a little bit of that coconut water out.
You said what?
No, never mind. Keep the coconut water. Go ahead and grab your Martell. I remember we was gonna do the Martell.
You want to do the Martell?
We're gonna do the Martell, bro. Hey, we rocking with Martell. Let's do the Martell.
Hey, shout out to Martell, man. Shout out to the whole Ricard team. If y'all watching, y'all checking in. All right. Get some lime juice. There we go.
Yes, sir. That lime juice, that's strong too, boy.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
Yeah, that's your grandma lime juice there, boy.
Yeah. All right, so I'll put a couple squirts in here.
Yeah, a couple squirts in there. You good? All right, then we're gonna put a shot of Martell in that thing. That's that Blue Swift.
The Blue Swift.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Blue Swift.
Little midday action.
Yes, sir. It's 12 o'clock.
Huh?
I said it's 12 o'clock. We good.
Yeah. Well, so talk to me about this little lemonade you was doing, the charcoal lemonade.
Yeah. So I created a drink for Martell, right? The Blue Swift. So what I did was I created a charcoal lemonade that mixed with that Blue Swift, right? And I call it Vibranium. And I'm talking about it's off the chain.
So I'm gonna give some people some quick education on Martell Blue Swift and what this is. We call it a spirit, but it's not. People want to say it's a cognac, but it's actually a spirit drink. I'm gonna tell you why it's a spirit. Because we actually aged this in a American whiskey barrel. So it's a French cognac aged in the American whiskey barrel. Can't tell you what whiskey barrel it is, but so this is a one of a kind. This is the first time it's ever been done in the spirit industry where they actually took some cognac and aged it in a whiskey barrel.
Oh, that's big.
So you can do a lot of different drinks with this. You can do a mule.
Yeah.
You can do. I like that Vibranium drink, man. We might have to. I might take that from you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do so many different things, sidecars, whatever you want to do. But this is the first time I'm actually doing the smoothie today. So, somebody said, "What's the difference between the spirit and the cognac?" They call it a spirit because they really couldn't identify it, right? They didn't know how to identify a cognac aged in a whiskey barrel. How do you identify something like that? Because you get those flavors, though. So what makes it special though, because you're getting that taste of whiskey within the cognac that you really don't normally get. So that's what makes this Blue Swift very special, man. So
and it's smooth too, bro. That's
super smooth.
Man, it's super smooth. Yeah.
So
throw a shot of that.
Just a little shot.
Yep.
Boom.
Boom. All right. Now you throw the lid on. You can throw the lid on. Yeah, you can throw the lid on that and be good. Cause see, the thing that I love about mixing alcohol with your fruit is that the alcohol it penetrates to your blood fast, right? Your body breaks fruit down really fast. So whenever you take that fruit and have that alcohol attached to that fruit, when your body break it down, the alcohol is gonna hit your system like this. right? But the thing is, you're going to consistently be drinking it because you're not going to really taste the alcohol like you would if you had it on ice, right? Or if you had like a little Sprite or, you know, whatever your mixer is, because it's going to kind of, especially with that lime, it's going to cut that taste of the alcohol. So you can ingest more of it and not even realize you're drinking that much of it.
Copy. So I'll go ahead and put this in?
Yep, go ahead and blend it up. Oh yeah, that thing gonna turn up. Let me see it.
Put some more coconut water in here.
Okay, all right, bet.
So,
it's a tad bit.
Yeah.
But did you see how the blender brought the it automatically brought the kale to the bottom?
Yep.
That's why we always want to put like our add-ins or our lighter dense product at the top, right? You want to put it away from the blade because the way the blade operates is it pulls everything straight down. Oh yeah, she's blending now. Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah, you good. Yeah, you can stop that thing there. And you see how I got that little brown tint to it?
Yep.
That comes from that alcohol.
There we go, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Where's yours?
I was gonna make it after you got done with yours.
All right.
Yeah, go on and taste that.
Oh, you think? All right. Not bad, man.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Hey, you know what? It's one thing that I look at when people drink a smoothie or when they try my product. The first thing I look at is their forehead, right? It's one thing you can't hide that forehead. When you try something, you be like, oh, that forehead gonna wrinkle up on you.
Nah, this is good. Yo, I definitely should have put the blueberries in there. I had some blueberries. I had some fresh blueberries. I didn't think about putting that in there.
You should have told me. So look, I
had the blueberries.
I got the beet juice. So you know, I had to
juicer, bro.
Yeah, I had to stunt with my joint.
Shout out to the noobs.
Yeah. Shout out to the bruh. All right, so I'm gonna put my beet juice in. All right. See that right there?
Yes, sir.
Now, what I always say, put the most dense product at the bottom, right? So the most dense product that I have is my strawberries. So I'm gonna put my strawberries in at the bottom.
Okay.
Then after that, I'm gonna put my mangoes in.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna throw everything else in because after that, it really don't matter. You just want to make sure your strongest product, your dense product at the bottom.
What kind of blender do you have?
I got a blend tech.
Blend tech.
Yep.
Okay. So how has business been for you so lately, man? Like talk about that.
So what I've been doing, I kind of been sitting down. You know what I mean? I hadn't brought my truck out since this whole pandemic happened. I hadn't been selling my juices. I hadn't been doing any of that stuff, bro. I've really just been kind of revamping, replanning. And I was able to take an opportunity to kind of dodge and jump into some other stuff that helped me along the way, kind of diversify. You know, so me and my wife are getting into some properties and real estate. So just being able to sit down, bro. I got a couple books that I'm finishing up. So
what books are you reading right now?
Huh?
What books are you reading right now?
No, I'm writing a book.
Are you writing the book?
Yeah, I'm writing a book. So I'll be finished with this book Friday. And yeah, so I've been able to sit down and do that and just get some stuff done that I've been wanting to get done, but I never had time to do it because I was always on the go. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was one of the things that was so good about this situation, so that when we open back up, I'm full throttle, right? I got so many things in place that's going to help me to operate in a better, in a smoother way, you know, when we're ready to open up. Because before, bro, I was all over the place. I was so unorganized. Like, I was just, you know what I'm saying? I was just going. And the faster that I felt like I would go, I think that to me, I felt like I was doing right, but I was just on the go so much that you couldn't really see the mistakes. You know what I mean? So it was just like,
bro. That just touched me right there, bro. That's how I am, bro. Like I've I get so caught up in working, work, but I never see the mistakes that I make. And I make so many mistakes.
Oh, man.
I make so many mistakes, bro.
Yeah.
And, so now you hit that head on right there, bro. So
yeah, just being transparent, bro. Like being in this space, you got to be able to realize, like, you going to mess up. But my coach used to tell me all the time, bro, if you going to mess up going full speed, right? Mess up going full speed. And so that's I adopted that approach. Like,
I like that.
I'm not the best at everything, but I can outwork everybody, and my flaws will be masked because I'm outworking everybody. You know what I mean? So that's just how I operate.
100%.
Yeah.
I love that.
This is what we looking like.
Let's see what magic you put together.
Yes, sir. So we like to know. Oh yeah, look good here, man.
That looks fire.
Ooh.
Cheers, brother.
Yes, sir. Cheers to the good life. Hey, that's the art of a healthy celebration right there.
We only going up from here, baby.
Yes, sir. So look, bro, man, I really appreciate you, dog, man. I want people to be able to find you, tap in, lock in. Hey, I got some people in Detroit too that I rock with. I want to make sure y'all connect and see how y'all can help each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Like,
I'll just give you really quick what we doing right now with the brands, bro. So with the Aware brand, man, we got a conversation series going on every week called Are You Aware Combo, man. Last week we just put on a reverend out of Chicago, Christ Unity Temple. We talked about everything from metaphysics to self-awareness, self-love. And then this week we got another reverend named Lola Wright. She's going to be on Thursday on our Facebook Live at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if y'all tap in, man, make sure y'all follow the Aware brand. It's at the Aware brand. You get all the information on all our conversations. Very powerful, transformative conversations that we're having right now to keep us stimulated during this quarantine. And then R&B and Tap, we've been doing the R&B and Tap parties on Fridays with my man DJ Primetime out of Cincinnati, Ohio. We got a woman in music conversation going on tomorrow where we're featuring my mother. I'm putting that flyer up in a second.
Oh.
Make sure y'all tap in on our Facebook Live tomorrow. And then other than that, man, just y'all can follow me at Dad's the Great on Instagram. So Dad's the Great, R&B and Tap, the Aware brand. Let's follow all our brands, man. Stay looped in on what we got going on. And yeah, TU, Tuskegee University, the building.
yes, sir. Bro, before you get out of here, bro, tell these people who your mom is, bro.
Oh, my mom is an amazing mother, first and foremost.
Love her.
Amazing mother, first
Love
and
her.
foremost. Amazing woman. And she's a music publicist, man. She's been in the music industry for 30 years, pushing it and doing her thing, man, in the music industry. She's probably the dope part of tomorrow's conversation, man. You don't even know who she done work for, man. She done put on Jay-Z first album, Reason to Doubt. Jermaine Dupri, 1942, first album. Whole Social Death, the first Social Death started, man. She was part of that whole brand awareness. Like, what we doing, we talking about brand awareness. She one of the queens of brand awareness. So that's why I learned a lot of that from her, man. So a month ago, man, Teresa Sanders, look her up. She's on Instagram at Teresa Sanders. We're going to be having a conversation with her tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern on our Facebook Live. So please tune in because it's going to be a dope conversation, man.
Fire.
We're going to learn a lot.
Fire. Yeah, and my dude on here, Genius Art. I want y'all to tap in with each other too, man. That's the producer. He the one that did my song. So he off the chain, bro.
Where is he at?
He right here in Atlanta. He actually lives right down the street from me, but he's out here in Atlanta. And I'm talking about off the chain, bro. Off the chain. Yeah. So good, man. I appreciate you, bro, man. Keep up the great work, dog. Keep your foot on the gas. And no matter what, bro, don't let nobody knock you off your square, bro, because nobody has in you what you have in you, right? And nobody can take away from you what they didn't give you. You know what I'm saying? So keep that junk up, man. I'm proud of you, bro. Brother to brother, bro. I love you to death, man. And if you need anything, you know I'm here.
Likewise, bro. I love you too, man. Keep doing your thing. These are dope, man. Keep doing these conversations, man. I'm looking forward to the rest of these conversations this week. I started following some of the people that you put on the flyer, man. I was checking them out. So
yeah,
keep doing your thing, man. And I'm looking forward to this day when we done with this whole quarantine and we can do something together in real life, man.
Man, you already know I'm ready.
Do something together, man. So I appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, man.
Love, boy.
I appreciate you, bro. So,
all right, man.
Yeah, man. Cheers to success, man. You heard?
Yes, sir.
And shout out to everybody that tapped in too, man. I appreciate all y'all for tapping in, man.
Boy, love y'all to death, boy. Let's get it, bro. Appreciate you, boy. Yep. So, yet again, my partner Drew, man, love him to death, man. We pretty much grew up together in Tuskegee. And moving forward and just doing some great things, man. I want y'all to tap in with him, get involved with the R&B Untapped. He's doing some amazing things with that, his brand, and just dope, man. Listen, I hope everybody is able to get something from these. I love y'all tuning in. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Share this out with some of your people. Let them know what we got going on, and we're going to keep doing them, man. Tomorrow, I got a guy, man, JB Covington. I went to school with him as well, Ski. Like, Ski is producing some of the best people in this world right now. And so I want y'all to tap in tomorrow. He got an amazing story. I'm talking about an amazing story. And I'm not going to give any of it away because I want him to be able to share detail from detail. But tomorrow, join me. I got my boy JB, and we're going to rock out tomorrow, and we're going to keep these things coming. Yet again, hey, it's Keon Davis, and it's making Smoothie magic. Let's get it. Boom.